who had everything in his life. He had a beautiful business, he had a beautiful wife, he had beautiful kinderlach, beautiful children. A community man. And everything was going his way. Picture perfect. It's about to get graphic, but it's just an analogy. One day he comes home and he sees that his house is on fire. And to his dismay, lo aleinu, we shouldn't know of such a thing, but all of his children died in the fire. And his wife was so stressed out she couldn't handle looking at his face anymore because it reminded her of everything she left him. He was so broken he could not operate in his business anymore, and he lost everything. He himself got sick. And he got run over by a bus. No, that didn't happen. I said. A few years go by, he gathers himself, as they say in the Tehillim, he girds his loins. Who even knows what that means? What does it look like? What is girding your loins? He puts his life back together. He rebuilds his business. He finds a beautiful kala, a beautiful wife. He has children with her. And he lived out his life. And he died at 120 years old, a sweet, happy, fulfilled man. He goes up to heaven at the end of his life, and he's sitting there with Hashem, and he's reviewing every single step of his life, step by step. And as they're looking down into the earth, into world, he sees that there's two sets of footsteps in the sand. There's his set of footsteps and God's footsteps. And every juncture in his life, Hashem is with him in lockstep. And he comes to this rough point in his life when he's 40 years old. And he sees, to his dismay, that there's only one set of footsteps in the sand. And he looks up at Hashem and he says, I don't understand. My whole life you were with me. Together. And here in the hardest part of my life, in my most miserable moments, there's only one set of footsteps. Where were you? And Hashem says to him, you're right. There is only one set of footsteps in the sand during your hard time. But the reason why there's only one set of footsteps is because the set of footsteps that you see are mine, and the whole time I was carrying you through. I know that we're close to Passover. For sure the women know this. I don't know if the men know this. But one of the things that we get from Passover, from eating matzah, I don't know if it's the first night or the second night, maybe a rabbi can help me here. First night or second night? Well, is that we eat matzah on both things. We eat matzah and it gives us emunah. It gives us faith. It gives us bitachon. And that is what will carry the Jewish people ultimately into the times of Mashiach, is our trust. Thank you for having me tonight, guys. So I want to open it up to a few questions. I know it's very, very, very late. It's almost past my bedtime. Honestly, I go to bed. I go to bed very early. Okay, I have one or two. Yes, go for it.
Leon Manicheri.
Round of applause for Leon. What a man. What a guy. Yes, Leon, what's the question?
The question is, and thank you for coming out. The question is, and this is, I guess, in all aspects, whether religious or professional or marriage, is you said trusting in yourself, because that's one way to know to ask Hashem for various things. Obviously, you have to trust in Hashem, but before that, you have to know, the person has to know what they want, what they are looking for. So what's your recommendation for people that might be lost, whether it's religious or professionalism or finding a job, and how to look inside themselves to see what they want? Because obviously it's a crazy, messed up world, but there's so many things going on. So what's your best, approach in person looking inside themselves to see what they want?
You guys heard his question. How does a person know even what they want? How can you trust in yourself if you don't know what you want yourself? So the answer is, first of all, the good news is that what you want is already encoded in your DNA. It's already there. It's actually not so much about figuring out what you want, it's actually more peeling away what you don't want. And when you peel away what you don't want, what you want is actually there all the time. It's actually a lot more simple than you think. It's that thing that you think that if you give this up, then you're going to lose your parnasa, or you're going to lose this, you're going to lose this. It's that thing that you're scared to do for various reasons. I can only tell you what I did myself. I acquired a friend. I hired a coach for myself. I can only tell you what I did would help me. Hope that answers your question. Yes, 1, 2, 3, yes. And hang on, I want to be fair to the ladies. We're equal society. Yes. What's your name?
Yakira.
Yakira. Woo! Round of applause.
Trusting in God, even when things get really difficult. So if you have any tips or things that you apply in your life to trust in God, even if it's really hard.
Great question. You guys heard it? Any tips and tricks to trust in God? There's a great book, again, I mentioned it. It's called Chovas Labovas, Shar HaBitachon. Great. I suggest everybody reads it. He gives a small thing that you could do to build this muscle. Bitachon, trust is a muscle. My trust is so strong right now that, like I said, just like I dropped this book, I know it falls. I trust Hashem. When I need to get on that plane, I'm going to get on that plane. And if you don't, if a person didn't get on the plane, it doesn't mean that Hashem didn't give you what you needed. But first of all, we have to understand what trust is. It is that it will be revealed good. It's people have a misconception. The Lubavitcher Rebbe talks a lot about this. Yes, and the Lubavitch. No, sorry. If I practiced speech Yeshua, I didn't know what I was going to say. I told you I was going to get it. I told you. The Lubavitcher Rebbe speaks about trust. He flips the whole thing on its head. Normally, the way that we look at trust is, whatever happens to me in my life, I trust that God is going to do the best for me. I may not agree with it, but God is doing the best. I trust God. Comes the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Such a sweet. The only reason why I'm here is with the Lubavitcher.
Shem is great.
Comes the Lubavitcher Rebbe and flips the whole thing on its head. He says that when you trust Hashem, you should trust Him that it will be revealed good, that you can see with your own eyes. So, a lot of people are like, oh, this person, God forbid, gets a terrible illness. But they trust Hashem that it's the right thing for them. No! You should trust Hashem that you should be healthy. You should trust Hashem that you should be wealthy. You should trust Hashem that you're going to get your shit up. You should trust Hashem that everything is going to be good. And that Trump is elected in 2024. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Yes. I went back. This is the only room in New York that I could go there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
A question like this is, do we trust in a God before or we believe Him? Which comes before? Trusting Him or believing in Him?
It's a good question.
It's a trick question though.
Can you trust Hashem and believe in Him?
No, which comes before?
Right.
Trusting in Him or believing in Him?
Right.
Think carefully.
It's actually the same answer that I wanted to answer the lady. I didn't give her a proper answer. The tip. The book gives a suggestion, a tip. He says that you should, before you do anything, you should ask Hashem for that it should go well. And then when it goes well, thank Him. And you should start with very small things like, Hashem, please make sure I get home safely tonight. And then when you get home safely, thank Hashem for getting home safely. Before I stood on stage tonight, I was in the corner. I was talking to the wall. People thought I was crazy. The service in the back thought they didn't want to come near me. But I said, Hashem, please make sure that tonight goes well. And as soon as I step off stage, I'm going to say, wow, it went well, thank you. Start small. It's like going to the gym. Start with small weights. Small things. Give Hashem credit. The only reason why... What do you think is making the diaphragm go up and down right now? It doesn't just happen. Hashem, please make sure that I breathe. Thank you. Wow, you did a great job. Start small. Everything is in Hashem's control. Nothing is out of His control. Everything, the Baal Shem Tov says, when a leaf falls from the tree, and depending on which side the leaf falls on, God controls that.
Yeah.
So ask Him for small things and thank Him when they come true. And then you can go bigger. Success in business, shidduch, health, parnasah, whatever it is. Next. Yes. What's your name? Yes.
When do you know when you're accurate, put enough effort, and you just solely trust it?
Okay, I love this question. I coach people all day long, and I have a what's it called? I realize this with myself. The end result is not in our hands. Whether you're going to be successful is not in your hands. Whether you're going to get whatever it is that you're looking for is not in your hands. So a lot of time I'll ask my clients, I'll say to them, please send me a list of goals that you have for this week. And they'll give me crazy goals, like close a $100 million real estate deal, get this client, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I tell them, that's not in your control. Making a phone call is in your control. Making a post on social media is in your control. Sending an email to a client, showing up is in your control. Going on a shidduch date is in your control. The only thing that is in your control is the ishtadlut. But I have a secret for you, I have good news. The Torah tells us that if a man says that he failed, but he tried, don't believe him. If a man says that he tried and he failed, don't believe him. But if a man says that he tried and he succeeded, believe him. It's a law of the universe. God has to follow His laws. He is Baki in Shulchan Aruch. He has to follow His laws. And His laws say, when you try, you will succeed. So just try. The more you try, it's not the end result. Try. I poked, you remember the mask thing? I sat miserably and tried to poke at masks from 3,000 different angles. And eventually, Hashem had to give me what I was trying for. As long as you do not give up, the only thing that is within our control is the ability to not give up. Yes?
Do we get an answer? My question.
Sorry?
I didn't get an answer to my question.
Who?
Which one came first?
So we have a group therapy session after. You're welcome to join. We meet every Tuesday, okay? We'll talk about it. Yes.
Okay, so I'm a certified life coach.
Yes, I'm just teasing, by the way. I love you. You're beautiful. Yes.
I'm a certified life coach.
Yes, so what's your name?
Oh, my name is Shiptan.
Guys, just so you guys don't think this is like a sleazy promotion for my coaching, please, at the end of this, walk over to the man in the New York Yankees hat and say, hey, I would love to have a free consultation with you. Please coach me, okay?
That's exactly my question.
Yes.
So, I've been, when COVID hit, I lost my father within, maybe a week after. It was like my birthday month. Back in March. Amen. In 2020, like you said, business, everything fell apart. I was getting into the coaching business. And I'm happier today than I was then because of things that I did, the rituals and all of that, and whatever. So I got certified as a life coach. Every day I spend 7, 8, 10 hours learning, absorbing, and getting ready to give. And I've been giving for free. I do WhatsApps, I coach friends for free, I do so much. But to transition into a paying business where I could do group coaching, individual coaching, I was wondering what suggestions you would have to break through and get that.
Everybody hear what he said? He loves coaching, he's doing it all the time, but he's not charging for it. So this comes back to what I was saying, trusting in yourself. By the way, you're doing it all wrong because the mitzvah is kinei, is to buy it. When people, in our world, money assigns value. So when a person puts money on something, they will appreciate it. You have to first understand that you are doing a service to them. When I raise money from people and I ask them for tzedakah, I feel great about it. You know why? Because that person will become rich. You're allowed to test Hashem with one thing, with tzedakah. I feel great when I ask the poorest person in the room for him to give $1,000. Because it's doing good for him. When you're schlepping money out of people's pockets, you are having them assign value to themselves. And you should feel good about that.
But what I'm saying is you're
going to get a lot of clients with free coaching.
No, but I mean it sincerely, because I'm literally talking to my good friend, just today about that. So I'll literally go, and people will be like, "Wow, you're great, you're awesome, you've changed this guy's life, you've helped him, you've helped that. This lady was crying 20 years, you did all these things." And I'm like, "Okay, are you ready to sign up? Are you ready to do a free coaching consultation?"
Okay, so let's practice it together, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to be you, and you're going to be the client that doesn't want to close.
Okay, let's go.
So I hope you enjoyed the coaching session. I'm so happy I changed your life. My fee, by the way, before they get on the free consultation, you should tell them that you're $3,000 a month, whatever it is. Everyone's like, that's a good business. By the way, I'm $3,000 a month. If you want to get on the free coaching session, I'm happy. If we don't by the end, I still love you anyways. Are you ready to roll? Yes. Great. So we went through it. Great. Would you like to continue?
Well, the thing is, I loved your WhatsApp messages. They were so great. But I don't really need a consultation. I'm just,
Look, I wouldn't be asking you this if I didn't believe in you. And I know what you're capable of, and I know your greatness. And I know that if you invest in yourself, you will become a champion. $3,000 is not going to kill you. Let's do this. Lady over there, yes, what's your name? Woo, Sarah. How could someone take upon themselves? Right, everyone heard that, but you need to grow in their Judaism? Is that what you're saying? Right, so there is an evil monster in your pocket. It's called a cellular telephone. Not in your pocket, I don't know what's in your pocket. It's your hand. That's right, exactly. So when I'm at my office, if my cell phone is in my hand, I am not productive. I leave my cell phone to the side, and I do what I gotta do. At 8 o'clock at night, I shut off my cell phone, and it's gone for the rest of the night. And guess what? I met this weird woman who sleeps in my room, and apparently she's my wife. And we have conversations now. It's the craziest thing. Cell phone is the evil monster in your pocket that wants to suck your life. You guys heard her question? Gentlemen, this is very important. Have you stopped wearing pants and wear a skirt, okay? Not that type, it's not that type of conference. Was that your question? Yes, was that your question? The first halacha, the first law in all of the code of Jewish law is be bold as a leopard. As a leopard. Despite what anybody is trying to tell you, be bold as a leopard. In order to be a Jew, you have to be brave. In order to be a Jew, you have to be strong. And never forget this, ladies and gentlemen, we are the greatest nation to ever walk the face of this earth, and we are the main characters in the greatest story ever told. Yes.